Fine. So is everyone fresh now? Huh? Everyone ready? Reply me once again. Before we start, everyone just reply me. Huh? Ready? Good. Yeah. Yes. So what was the last point? So the last point was we were solving some examples. Okay. I think we were solving example number 18. Example number 18 we were solving, right? And let us see that example number 18 one more time. Fine. So write down along with me. See what are the things which you have already written. Internal energy of monoatomic ideal gas. Monoatomic ideal gas. Its internal energy is given to us as 1.5 nRT. Yes, we know it is. Basically, internal energy should be internal energy of a gas, not 1 mole, n moles, F by 2 nRT. For monoatomic gas, F is equal to 3. So 3 by 2 nRT. 3 by 2 means 1.5. The same data they have written. Fine. 1 mole of helium. Helium is a monoatomic gas. Is kept in a cylinder of cross-sectional area 8.5 centimeter square. Area of the cross-section of cylinder is 8.5 centimeter square. Let us convert it immediately into meter square. Centi means 10 raised to minus 2. Centimeter square means 10 raised to minus 2 meter square. 10 raised to minus 2 square is 10 raised to minus 4. Meter square is meter square as it is. Helium is there in the cylinder. Helium is there in the cylinder. And the cylinder is enclosed with the piston of the area equal to this. This is helium. Monoatomic gas. Helium is monoatomic, that we know. Hydrogen is diatomic. The cylinder is closed by the light frictionless piston. The gas is heated slowly in a process during which a total of 42 joule of heat is given to the gas. Heat given to the gas. Positive. 42 joule of heat is given to the gas. If the temperature rises through 2 degrees Celsius, rises through or rises by, means change in temperature is plus 2 degrees Celsius. Final will be more, initial will be less, so delta T will be positive. Find the distance moved by the piston. We'll assume that the piston moves up by the distance equal to x during the process. Piston moves up. This is initial position. This is final position. We will assume that the piston moves by a distance equal to x during the process. And they are asking what is the distance moved by the piston. Okay, given that atmospheric pressure is 100 kilopascal. Given that atmospheric pressure, here the atmosphere will be there, and that atmospheric pressure, it is given in the question that it is 100 kilopascal. 100 as it is, kilo means 10 raised to 3, pascal as it is. Sir, 10 raised to 2 multiplied by 10 raised to 3 is 10 raised to 5 pascal. So they want you to take this atmospheric pressure as 10 raised to 5 pascal. Okay. So what we did here was something like this. Okay. To find out this x, what we need to find out is this volume. Okay. The volume traced or the change in volume. This is going to be the initial volume. This is going to be the final volume. So if somehow we find out change in volume, that change in volume upon area, we can get this displacement. Okay. Now we identify here that piston is, see, piston is light piston. No data about mass of the piston is given to us. Okay, we are not given any kind of data about mass of the piston. So we will assume that the piston is light. Okay, it has no weight. Fine. So what is the pressure on the gas, which will be equal to pressure of the gas also. So pressure of the gas will be equal to atmospheric pressure plus pressure due to piston. But sir, piston has no weight. So total pressure on the gas will be equal to atmospheric pressure, and the piston pressure due to piston is 0. So atmospheric pressure is equal to pressure on the gas. So that atmospheric pressure will not change during the expansion or the compression of the gas. So that means this is a isobaric process because pressure of the gas is not changing. So here we identify that the process is isobaric process. We identify that the process is isobaric process, and now we start calculation by using the first law of thermodynamics like this. See, we know from the first law of thermodynamics we can write Q is equal to delta U plus W. Now some people may write this Q as delta Q, some people may write this W as delta W, it's their choice. We don't have any problem. Now the value of Q is given to us. Yes sir, the value of Q is given to us. Now value of delta U. Sir, we are given value of U. We are not given value of delta U. So let us write down the formula that we know for delta U. Sir, delta U of gas. We are not writing delta U of 1 mole. We are writing delta U of gas. So delta U of gas is direct formula is NCV delta T. But sir, CV is equal to F by 2R. F by 2 into R. Okay. R is in the numerator. CV is equal to F by 2 into R into sir delta T as it is. So that will bring you this formula. F by 2 into NR delta T. F by 2 into NR delta T. Call this equation 1. Call this equation 2. Now we have data of temperature difference. We have data of temperature difference. Are we given number of moles? Are we given number of moles? How many moles? 1 mole of helium, right? We are given with the data of 1 mole of helium. So let me write it here. Number of moles of monoatomic gas is 1. So we are given with the data of N tick mark. R value we know, delta T we know. So we can know this delta W, sorry, delta U. So from this tick mark, I can say this can be tick marked. So somehow I can get the value of work done. Once I get the value of work done, as the process is isobaric process and the area of the piston is constant, pressure is equal to force into area. If pressure is constant, area is constant, force will also be constant. It is because pressure is equal to force into area and force, sorry, my mistake. Pressure is equal to force upon area and force is equal to pressure into area. If pressure is constant, area is constant, force will also be constant. Force will also be constant. So this is work done by the constant force. So this work done we can replace by force into displacement. This work done we can replace by force into displacement, and sir, this force we can replace by pressure into area. By pressure into area into this X as it is. Now the pressure of the gas is nothing but P atm. So here I will write equal to P atm. Okay. So what I can do is, sir, this P we already know, area of the piston we already know, and now if we replace the value of W as PAX in this equation, only one unknown X will be there and Q value we are already given, delta U value we are already given. Instead of W we will write PAX and X is the unknown. So that will give us one equation, one unknown. So this is the mathematics involved behind this question, which basically says you have 3 equations and 3 unknown, and somehow you will figure out value of X by making it or converting it into one equation, one unknown. Now let me know in the chat box, are these 3 equations clear to all of you, and are you convinced that we can find out the value of X? I will wait. Reply me in the chat box, everyone. समझते का बघा बाळांनो? Good. Any doubt? Convinced? Good. Fine. Fine. So let's do the calculation then. All right, sir. Let's do it. Sir, Q is equal to this delta U is F by 2 NR delta T plus Fine. Let us write this work done as force into displacement. Okay. If this x comes out to be positive, it means it is expansion. If this x comes out to be negative, then it will be compression. Sorry, I should write it as P into A into X because we have already replaced this value of force. Fine. What is F? 3 by 2. N is 1. R is 8.3 will take. Delta T is 2. Pressure is 10 raised to 5. Area is what? 8.5 into 10 raised to minus 4. 8.5 into 10 raised to minus 4 into X. Into X. Fine, sir. So this two cancel. 3 into 8.3 that will be 24.9. This Q is given to us as 42. Then this plus 5 minus 4. Plus 5 minus 4 will be plus 1. Plus 5 minus 4 will be plus 1. Plus 1 into 8.5, 85. Okay. Check if we are doing the calculations correct or not. I think yesterday we did wrong calculation. I think I wrote here minus 1. Okay, that I think was wrong. 10 raised to plus 5 into 10 raised to minus 4 will be 10 raised to plus 1. Okay, and not minus 1. So that 10 raised to plus 1 into this 8.5. 10 into 8.5 is 85. Okay, so here it was 42. 42 minus 24. That was, I think you gave the answer as 17.1. I just remember it. Check if I am right or wrong. Am I right? Yes. Okay. So you do the further calculation and let me know the answer. 17.1 divided by 85. I also told you how to divide something by 85. 17 into 5 is 85. 17 गुणिले 5 85. 17 into 5 is 85. Dividing by 70 is not a big task. 75. Sorry, dividing by 17 is not a big task. Dividing by 5 is also not a big task. So sir, value of x is 17.1 divided by 85. Divided by 85. Sir, we will approximate this with 17 divided by 85. 17 ones are 1 and 17 fives are 5. Sorry, 85. 17 fives are 85. So that will give 1.1 upon 5. 1 upon 5 is 0.2. So sir, value of x is equal to 0.2 meter. Okay, everything is calculated in meter. Let's see their answer. Yes, their answer is 20 centimeter. Their answer is 20 centimeter. So yes, we have done all the approximations properly. Meter can be written as 100 centimeter. So that will bring you this 20 centimeter. Fine. Hope the question is clear to all of you. Fine. Shall we move on to the next question? Write it down. Let me know. Clear and written. Okay. So this is how you will be solving or tackling the questions based on first law of thermodynamics. Okay. Now let us solve the next question, that is question number 19. Question number 19. Let me rub all these things. Okay, now everyone be ready. We have to attack the next question. Question number 19. Question number 19. What's that? Let me read it. You try to extract the data along with me. A sample of ideal gas, small f is equal to 5 is given to us. Small f means degrees of freedom. So that is given to us as 5. Small f is equal to 5 degrees of freedom we are given. Fine. It's an ideal gas. So we are given a gaseous system. Fine. Okay. You always have to take care whether you are given a gaseous system or a liquid converting into the gas or the solid converting into the liquid, what kind of system you are given, you have to take care. If amount of 140 joule of heat is supplied to the gas, if amount of 140 joule is supplied to the gas, so it should be written positive. Heat given to the system is positive. Now we know that, so I won't be asking you whether it should be positive or negative. Now you know that it is supplied to the system. Find bit number A, change in internal energy of the gas. Change in internal energy of the gas, bit number A. Okay, and the work done by the gas. And the work done by the gas. Okay, with this data, will we be able to find out delta U and W? Huh? Seems that data is insufficient. With only Q value, how can delta U and W be found out? Let's try. Let's try. Check if any data is missing. Cause we have only one known thing. This is second known thing, but for that also we need delta T. Okay, Ansh is saying, sir, isobaric. Is it given in the question that the process is isobaric? Let me read it again. A sample of ideal gas F equal to 5 is heated at constant pressure. Okay. So the process is isobaric. Yes. Now we have one more data. That's it. That will be enough. Process is isobaric. Okay, sir. Process is isobaric. Fine. Now see how the solution goes. So first of all, see, can we find delta U? Sir, to find delta U, you must know what is Q, what is W. If you know both of these things, you can use first law of thermodynamics. Right now, I don't know what is W. So I cannot directly use first law of thermodynamics. So is there any other way to find out delta W, delta U? Yes, sir, it is there. And it is internal energy of a gas, or change in internal energy of a gas is F by 2 nRT. It is F by 2 nRT. But sir, we are not given the F by 2 nR delta T. Okay. If I write F by 2 nRT, that will be internal energy. And if I write, instead of T, if I write delta T, that will give me delta U. U पाहिजे असेल. If you want U, then F by 2 nRT. If you want delta U, then it is F by 2 nR delta T. But sir, value of N we are not given. Value of delta T we are not given. But sir, process is isobaric. Process is isobaric. So for isobaric process, sir, there is one more formula. It is P delta V. It is P delta V. But sir, we are not given the value of pressure. We are also not given the data of change in volume. Okay. So right now there is no way by which we can find delta U. Okay. Now what to do? Tell me now what to do. Is there any other data given in the question? F is equal to 5. Isobaric. Q is given to us. Delta U is given to us. What can I do? So there is no way to find out delta U. Okay. Fine. Let us give one more try. Let us try to find out W. Isobaric process. I think I made a mistake. I made a mistake. Delta U. How can I write delta U as P delta V? It's not the formula of delta U. I should have written W is equal to P delta V or nR delta T. These are the formulae for work done in the isobaric process. Okay, I should not have written this. I should not have written this. My mistake. Delta U, it's correct. Delta U, it's correct. NCV delta T, and CV is F by 2R. NCV delta T. CV is F by 2R. Okay, sir. This formula is known to us. This is perfect. This formula is perfect. This formula is perfect. But sir, these data we are not given. These data we are not given. Okay. R is known to us. These data are not given to us. We have all the formulae with us, but the data we are not given with. Okay, sir. Fine. Now, what we observe here is that in these formula some data is missing. So somehow we have to find out missing data in these formulae. Somehow we have to find out missing data in these formulae. And let us write one more known equation to us. See how the trial and errors are done. This is the actual logic. Okay, trial and error. How to do trial and error? For that also there is one logic. See, just try to write down known equations. Try to understand what are the unknowns. Try to understand what are the knowns. Write down all the equations which you know related with the given question. Q is equal to delta U plus W. Sir, Q is known to us. Delta U is not known. W is not known. Okay, sir. It means that, sir, we have one equation right now. We have one equation, and right now there are two unknowns. Okay. So somehow we have to relate these two equations, or sorry, these two variables in one more equations, or at least one of the variables should be found out separately. And for that, we will be using this. We will be using this. That value of Q is given to us. Now, the process is isobaric. I will be replacing Q by QP. I will be replacing Q by QP. Okay, now try to understand. QP is equal to heat supplied at constant pressure will be equal to N Cp delta T. N Cp delta T. Now Cp is equal to Cv plus R. Now Cp is equal to Cv plus R. Yes, sir, Cp is equal to Cv plus R into delta T as it is. Into delta T as it is. But sir, Cv is equal to F by 2R. Cv is equal to F by 2R plus R into delta T. Into delta T. Okay, sir. So, sir, that means this R common, and this F by 2 plus 1. So, sir, the value of Qp is equal to F by 2 plus 1, F by 2 plus 1. This N is common, this R is common, delta T is also common. So N R delta T. Sir, the value of F we are given. Value of F we are given. Let us put the value of F. 5 by 2 plus 1 into NR delta T. Sir, the value of QP is also known to us. 5 by 2 plus 1 is 7 by 2. It is 7 by 2. NR delta T is the value of QP. Sir, value of Q or QP is also given to us. So now we can know this value NR delta T. Now we can know this value NR delta T. Now we can know this value NR delta T. If now we know this value NR delta T, F is already known to us. We can know this value delta U. Once we know delta U, we can also know W. Is this logic clear to all of you? Reply me in the chat box. We just developed one logic with this thought that if there is no equation to solve, so in that case what you have to do, you will write the equation for the data which is given. When the question is not being solved by just writing the equations, one equation, one unknown, two equation, two unknown, by that method, when question is not being solved, in that case you will write the equation for data which is given and not for which is asked. जे विचारले त्यासाठी इक्वेशन लिहून जर क्वेश्चन नाही सॉल्व होतोय, in that case you will write the equation for what is given. Second way, physics चा question solve करायचा second way. Are you getting this? There are only two ways. Write the equation for what is asked, first way. If not, then write the equations for what is given. The question will be 100% solved with these two methods. Okay, are you getting this? Tell me, are you getting this? These are the two thoughts, okay, by which you can fundamentally solve all the questions in physics. If you don't know what to do next, give a try. I gave this try, I found that so one equation and two unknowns. So this try, all the tries failed. I wrote equation for what is asked. I wrote equation for what is asked. I wrote equation for what is asked. Still I failed. So I wrote equation for what is given, and I succeeded. Fine, sir. So NR delta T. Therefore, NR delta T is equal to 2 by 7 times QP. 2 by 7 times QP. Fine. So that will bring me, now let's not put the values here. See, intermediate calculations should not be done. Intermediate calculations should not be done. Okay, because those ultimately consume time unnecessarily. Now let us call this as equation number 2. Call this as equation number 2. Okay. Now we know, and let us call this as equation A. Let us call this as equation B, and let us call this as equation 1. Now let us use equation 2 in equation A. Equation 2 in equation A. So sir, that will give you delta U is equal to F by 2. Okay, F by 2 into bracket NR delta T. But sir, NR delta T is 2 by 7 times QP. 2 by 7 times QP. Sir, degrees of freedom is 5 upon 2 into 2 upon 7 into QP. Heat supplied at constant pressure is 140 joule. Okay, right. Put the value with the sign plus 140. It is plus 140. No need to write plus sign, but if there is minus sign, you should have written here. Now this two cancel. 14 upon 7 is 2, so that will become 20. 20 into 5 is 100. So delta U coming out to be 100. It's a gas whose internal energy is increased. It's a gas whose internal energy is increased. For gas, see, basically internal energy is kinetic energy plus potential energy. But gases do not, for gases we do not consider potential energy. So for gas, internal energy is equal to kinetic energy. So if internal energy increases, kinetic energy increases, and whenever molecular kinetic energy increases, temperature increases. Okay. And for liquids and solids and other things, we have to consider potential energy also. So for liquids and solids, total energy in total internal energy is equal to kinetic plus potential. There you cannot neglect potential energy. But for gases, you can neglect potential energies. Fine. That kind of question we have already solved, and in the further course we will be tackling those questions also. Okay. Fine. So is this up to this? Is that clear? We just found out delta U, which was asked. Delta U. Is that clear? Delta U. Good. So now, sir, upon knowing this delta U, Q we know, delta U we know, W we can find out. Very simple. Now equation 3 in equation 1, what is Q or what is QP? It is 140 joule is equal to, what is delta U? Sir, delta U is plus 100 plus this W as it is. So W will be equal to 40 joule. It came out to be positive. It means volume of the gas has increased. Whenever volume of the system increases, let it be gaseous, solid, liquid, anything, work is positive. Whenever volume of the system increases, the work done is positive. Okay, hope this question is clear to all of you. Okay, everyone reply me in the chat box fast so that I can move on to the next part. Clear and written. Get familiar with this kind of questions. This was the second category question, wherein you have to write the equation for what is given and not for what is asked. But as usual, we will be writing the equations for what is asked. Then we'll identify. Nothing can be done here because no data is given here. Fine. All right. Q is equal to F by 2 W plus. Just give me a second. Q is equal to F by 2 W plus W. Yes, you can write that. Okay, but see, what you are doing is this. You are writing all the formulae in terms of W. Means you want to relate delta U. You want to write delta U in terms of W. That is also fine. Try to find out delta U in terms of W. After finding out delta U in terms of W, you will be having only one equation, one unknown, Q and W. That can also be done. But immediately writing delta U is equal to F by 2 W, that always may not be right. Okay, right now the process is isobaric, so for that you may write it. For that you may write it. Okay, but that's not true in general. Okay, that's not true in general. That is true for isobaric process only. Fine. Now write down next heading as again we have given some information about thermodynamic processes. Okay, so write down along with me. Application of, write down heading as application of first law of thermodynamics, FLOT. In short, write down FLOT. For thermodynamics, write THD. Application of FLOT, first law of thermodynamics. Application of FLOT to different processes. Application of FLOT to different processes, or in short different processes. Now we will consider one by one all processes, and we will try to apply the first law of thermodynamics to that process, and we will try to apply first law of thermodynamics to that process. Fine, let us try to do that. Let us try to